What's up, internet? This is Kevin with ZeroHp, also known as AKA BudgetGamer. And what we're doing today is we're actually going to go ahead and look into some of these great Steam games on sale today. Steam Winter Sale has just started today, August 22nd, 2015. We are going to go ahead and give you advice on what to buy and what not to buy. Okay, what we're gonna go ahead and go through is hit some of the really good video games that are some of the great games that I think you should pick up, and let's go ahead and head right into it. We're gonna stick to Steam this time, and as more winter sale sites have more of their winter sales coming out, we will have more and more videos coming out. But today we're just gonna go ahead and stick with Steam. Let's go ahead and right off the bat, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. First game I see off the bat right here, Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls, if you haven't already played, you're missing out. Completely missing out. Especially Skyrim. Skyrim actually is right now the Legendary Editions, which means these includes like these DLC. As you can see, they're all kind of different price here. So basically, you're going to get all these DLCs plus the game for $10, 75% off. Because if you bought the game, let's go ahead and see if you bought the game separately. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So if you bought the game separately, it will be $4.99 plus the Dawn Guard for another $4.99, the Dragonborn $4.99, and then the Hearthstone for $1.29. So you're technically saving yourself, even with the 75% off on each individual item. It came out to $16.21. You're saving yourself $6.22. Great buy, great game. I would highly recommend it if you do not have it already in your collection. Even with, sticking with the Elder Scrolls theme here, we also have Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Edition, or Tamriel Unlimited. If a few years back when Online came out, Elder Scrolls Online came out, it wasn't the greatest hit. It was not the greatest hit of all time. In fact, a lot of people did not like it. Actually, since then, I have picked it up. I have played it. And it's actually a pretty decent game. Now, decent enough to pay $23.99 for. Maybe. It depends on how bad your Elder Scrolls, itch is. I would recommend that if you consider, like you want a decent MMO and you want to stick with if you love Elder Scrolls, it's something you definitely pick up and take a hold of. We're gonna go ahead and move on here. We have Oblivion. For the price that it is right now for an older game, unless you are a hardcore Elder Scrolls fan, I would recommend not picking this up. $8.49 for a game that was released in 2009. I can't bring myself to do it, so skip on that. Unless you're Elder Scrolls fan. Same goes for Morrowind. It's not the best game. If you want to play for nostalgic sake, then of course, man, pick it up. It's a great deal. 66% off is probably going to be the best price that you will see for this winter sales. Same goes for Oblivion. If you want these two, go ahead and pick it up now. I believe this time around, Steam has, or Valve has, announced that they will not be doing flash sales. So what that means is there will be no, you would not have to check up every day for a new flash sale. Which is, a good and bad thing. A lot of people love those flash sales because they get pretty good prices and deals on them. I wasn't a huge fan, to be honest. I didn't like the fact that I had to check back every day, and see if I wanted to get something. Yeah, it was at a cheaper price than the average sale price, but it wasn't my thing. Game of Thrones. That's another game that you need to pick up if you're a Telltale game fan, and obviously a Game of Thrones fan. You definitely want to pick this up. I have heard nothing but rave reviews for it. I have played it myself, and it has been very good. One of the better Telltale games that I have played. Take the opportunity to pick up this game, for 66% off, which is $10. You get the entire season. So it's not just an episode, not an episode here or there. It's the entire season. So definitely pick that up. That's a great game. Pass on Killing Floors 2. It's still in early access. So I mean, it depends on how you feel about early access game. It's a decent game. It's just I have a thing for early access, and if you love the first Killing Floors, by all means pick this up. But for me, pass. We're gonna go ahead and move on here. Oh, whoops. What is going on here? All right, so we have Sid Meier's Civilization franchise. So if you are into Civ, this is a good opportunity to pick up some of these games. I myself may be picking up Sid 5. It's been on my wish list for a very long time. I'm gonna go ahead and probably pick it up here soon. You can get the complete edition here. You get all of the DLC with it, including some of these expansion packs versus the base game, which is $7.49. Pay an extra $5, get all the DLC, and there are a lot of DLC. Let me show you. Look at all this. This is incredible. They have so many DLCs that it's definitely worth paying the extra $5 for. And some of the older elders are not the elders, still stuck on the Elder Scroll games. Some of the older Sid games are pretty nice too in here. I wasn't a huge Civilization fan when I was growing up, but I heard Civilization 5 is the pinnacle of the franchise, which is good to hear. So definitely want to pick it up. If you're a Sid 3 fan, I know a lot of you guys are out there. It's $1.24. Why not? When it's $1, you're paying more for freaking French fries at McDonald's than you are that game. So it's a pretty good deal. Oh man, I cannot stress enough. This is the potential for Game of the Year here that we have in front of us, and you're looking at The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. So believe it or not, it's on sale for 50% off, $30, 30 smackaroonies. Definitely pick it up. Definitely it's a must buy. It's one of going to be highly rated games in 2015, and it's going to be most likely win Game of the Years for most sites and magazines and so on and so forth. Definitely worth the $30. You get some really cool stuff with it too. CD Red Project is it's great. They're a great studio, put out great content. This game puts out you're gonna spend so much time in it. It's similar to Elder Scrolls in a sense, where you're gonna be putting a lot of time into side questing. It's an open world. If you've played The Witcher before, you know that Geralt's gonna be an awesome character. You're gonna be playing a lot of Geralt, but you're gonna also be playing his daughter as well, or his adopted daughter. But definitely check it out. Definitely pick up if you are considering buying it. That's all I'll say for that. Tropico was one of my favorite RTS games. It's definitely a very fun game. If you ever just want to sit down and play a goofy RTS, it's not as serious as say Civilization 5 or Age of Empires. It's more of a goofy. You're a dictator, and you run this tropical island, and you can build things and fight against rebels and so on and so forth. So yeah, definitely consider that. And here's the other potential Game of the Year, which is Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. However, it is only 33% off. So I would say pass on this for now. The reason why is because I have seen this game for 50% off, which is, like The Witcher. You're going to get for $30, even cheaper. I have seen it go as low as $25. So for $40.19, I'm going to go ahead and say pass on it. I will, however, I'm going to add that right now to my wish list. So I'll go ahead and put that on there, but I'll say pass on it for now. It may be on sale for a lower price down the road. So yeah, let's see here. Gone Home has actually gotten really good reviews too. Spelunking is a great indie game. Definitely check that out. $3.74 for Spelunking. Gone Home for $5.99, not bad. Definitely maybe consider if you're wanting to pick up just a pickup game. Get involved into the story, kind of investigating what's going on in this house. So yeah, definitely check that out. Let's see here. State of Decay is a really good game. I actually enjoyed State of Decay quite a bit. It's a good blend between RPG and strategy, because you're running a group of survivors in a zombie apocalypse, and you're going places to raiding supplies and defending your base against zombies and so on and so forth. It's actually a very good game. $11.99. If you haven't bought it already, definitely consider it. If you have, definitely, if you play the first State of Decay, this is the year 1 survival edition. That means it has all the DLCs involved in it. If you have already State of Decay, the base game, I wouldn't pick up the DLC. This DLC doesn't really add much to it. So I'd say wait. If you have the game, if you haven't bought the game, consider buying it. Let's go ahead and move on here. The Devil May Cry franchise. So a lot of people have, hated on the Devil May Cry remake, the DMC remake of Dante. It's not bad. Here's the thing: he doesn't look like he used to. Like, you can see here, Dante used to be like this badass, white-haired, like demon slayer, and now he's like this little punk kid with a little skateboarder hairstyle. But he's still, consider buying it. It's still a really solid game. Has definitely it has a lot of info in regards to the origin story of Dante. He's in his teen stage, I would say, so his acting is a little subpar, or not his acting, but his character. I don't really like it, but for 70% off for $8.99, not a bad deal. If you're looking to gift somebody a game, this might be it. This is a really good game. Of course, if you're a Devil May Cry fan, you've already had the Devil May Cry 4 and 3. So, but if you don't, another great buy. Or you can buy the package deal, which is pretty nice too. Let's go ahead and move on here. We got tons of games to review. The Force Unleashed. Consider it now is canon. So, or it's not canon. I'm sorry, not canon in the Star Wars universe. But it's still a pretty solid game. But for this price, it's a solid game. But here's the thing: it's a solid game if you get it for free. And for $5.99, I'm gonna say pass. Undertale has actually gotten a lot of acclaim as well. It possibly in certain circles can be game of the year. So for $7.99, that's not a bad deal. GTA 5, not a bad deal actually. Actually, this might be the best, the lowest price I've ever seen it. I would consider buying this if you're looking to get GTA 5. It's $35.99 right now. It's about the lowest I've ever seen it. It doesn't really get any lower than that for right now anyways. So definitely get that if you haven't already. Rocket League is a very solid game. That in itself, actually, from the games that I have played this year, Rocket League has my vote for game of the year because it's so fun. Like it's so much fun to play with. It's depends on what mode you play. There's 3-on-3s, that standard mode, and it's like a soccer game but with cars. It's actually very simple but very fun at the same time. Ark. I've actually been wanting Ark for a while now myself, and this might be it. Might be the time I'm gonna buy it. $17.99 or $17.99, and what that means is actually it's been cut down in price. That's actually the lowest I've ever seen it. I probably will pick that up. It's an open world survival game where you play with dinosaurs. Very simple, very straightforward. You play with dinosaurs. They've added a lot. Here's the thing: they added a lot since the first open beta for this game. They have like, say they have Yetis now. They have like eggs. You can do like Pokemon style, like breeding things. You can build bases and so on and so forth. It's actually really, really good. Definitely pick it up. It's a higher end game, so it will kind of max out your PC. If you have an older PC, it may not be something you want to look into because it's gonna push your PC limits for sure. Mad Max, another game that it's a very solid game. It wasn't like amazing by anyone's standard, but it is a very solid game. Maybe not worth $20.39 depending on who you are. If you're obsessed with Mad Max, then it's a solid game. Definitely pick it up. If you are gonna wait on it, like myself, I'm a budget gamer. I'm gonna wait. I could see that dropping to like maybe $15-20 in a few months. Okay, so for now I would say skip. If you're obsessed with Star Wars, you know, if you guys seen episode 7, The Force Awakens, and there's a lot of games to keep you busy. Absolutely must buy games. These 3 right here. Knights of the Old Republic. Absolutely must buy. One of my favorite games of all time. You will love the story. I'm not going to have any spoilers. If you haven't experienced it, you need to experience it. Republic Commando, very solid game. Actually, I bought this on the original Xbox, and it's a very cool dark twist on the Clone Wars. So that's very cool. And then of course Battlefront 2, very solid game. You know, if you are in the Battlefront train right now, this is, in my opinion, better than the current Battlefront out right now. Battlefront 2 back in the day was a very solid game. And of course, if you're gonna pick up Knights of the Old Republic, definitely pick up Knights of the Republic 2. Very solid game too. It wasn't as good as, say, the first Old Republic, but the second one is it's a solid game. It's a solid game. It's just the reason why it's a solid game is because it followed up Knights of the Old Republic, which is a exceptional game. So consider getting that. Dying Light, actually a very solid game as well. That's another game that came out in 2015. I would say maybe consider this $20.39 for now. That's probably the lowest I've ever seen it. The lowest prior to that would be $30, because it is still a $60 game. So definitely, if you're looking to buy a cool Dead Island style zombie game, this is the one. This is actually better than, in my opinion, better than the first Dead Island, because it's more acrobatic. There's more free running. You can climb on walls and all that stuff. So definitely consider that. We have Dark Souls 2 for your Soul fan out there. This is actually a really good deal because this is the Scholars of the First Sin edition. So definitely consider that. $18.99. Just Cause 3 just came out. Wow, this is not bad. This is literally came out like not even a month ago, and it's already $47.99. So if you're looking to get a new game, it's a solid game. It's not like exceptional by any means, but if you like the Just Cause formula, open world, kind of do some goofy, funny things, that's something you might look into. Rust, one of the first major open world survival games, for $10, $9.99. Here's the thing. With this, it's still in early access. Although they have, you know, expanded it, they've definitely upgraded it. It's still in early access. Look at this. Looks nice, looks cool, looks fun, but early access, $10. Maybe. It's a maybe for me. It's a maybe for that. Pillars of Eternity, fantastic game. Definitely a must-have. 60% off for $17.99. That's actually a pretty good deal. So it's a I'd say like a Diablo-esque kind of game. Baldur's Gate, maybe closer to Baldur's Gate. So this is a very cool game, very solid game if you like that style of game. So keep that in mind. That's how much was it? $17.99. So consider that. Ori and the Blind Forest had some great storytelling in that. 40% off though for $11.99. Maybe on that one as well. Maybe on that. So keep that in mind. Life is Strange. I wonder if this is just the first episode or is it the entire series? Okay, yeah. So here it is. Wait, what? It's weird. Okay, so the entire series is for $13.39. Isn't bad. It's a very interesting story. It's a little teeny. You know, you are playing a teenage girl, and you kind of deal with the struggles that they have. So depends on the. It's a Telltale-esque game where you live out your choices and so on and so forth. But the cool, neat thing is you get to rewind those choices. What that means is if you say you choose something you do not like it, you actually can go back and rewind. She has some sort of like time traveling powers, and she can, backwards in time and re-choose a different choice. So it's a different thing. Wolfenstein: The New Order. That's actually a fantastic deal. 85% off for $8.99. That is a must-have. Fantastic game if you like Wolfenstein back in the day, or if you just like first-person shooters. It's a very solid game. So consider that. You also have Talos. The Talos Principle is a puzzle game. It's actually a very intricate puzzle game. It's actually really good as well. $10. Very solid buy. I would recommend that. Elite Dangerous, hold off on. I have seen it cheaper. Armor 3. It's an older game, so 50% off is not a great of a deal. Hold off on that. City Skylines, very solid game as well. If you like the city building simulator and all that stuff, that's actually probably the best of that series, of that genre, in my opinion, City Skylines. So if you're gonna buy it now. It's $11.99. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Not a great deal. 40% off for $8.99. I would say hold off on that. Tales of Zetaria. Not a great deal either. 33% off. Hold off on that. Vermintide. I am personally extremely excited for Vermintide. I definitely would like to play this game sometime, and I may be picking this up. It's not a great deal, but it's a relatively brand new game, and it's like think of Left 4 Dead but with Warhammer fantasy. So just think of it's actually incredibly good. So for me, I'm probably gonna buy it, but you don't have to. It's just I'm really biased against for Warhammer stuff. And we have Shadow of Mordor. If you haven't already, definitely pick that up. Let me see. Wait. Don't do it yet. Don't you? Let's see. Is it the Game of the Year edition? It is. It is not. Okay, so the Game of the Year edition that comes with the DLC is $16.99. Not great. Not great. I would say pass on that for now. It's not the greatest deal. So I would say pass. Divinity Original Sin, hours of gameplay. Again, it's like a turn-based Diablo-esque game. So if you like that, consider picking it up. It has been winning lots of awards. So it's a very solid game. You probably won't see it any lower than that. It's $26.79 right now, 33% off. Consider it. Left 4 Dead, always solid. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. There's gonna be a package deal for it, so look forward to that. 80% off. That's a fantastic deal. So look forward to that coming out. Borderlands 2, another solid game. Definitely something you may want to gift somebody. There's a bundle for that. You buy it, 4-pack and with your buddies and play that game. It's a very solid game. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 pass. It's not a great deal. 25% off. I have seen it for lower than that. Hurt World's another open world survival game. Darkest Dungeon. That's actually a very solid Dungeons and Dragons game, and I would consider it 50% off for $9.99. Kind of a little stocking stuffer there. Wasteland 2, another RTS, very solid game as well. $19.99. Yeah, I'd say that's a good deal. $19.99 is a very solid deal for that. You probably won't see it any lower than that for a while. Prequels, the Borderlands, the prequels, pass on. They're not very good. Let's see. Rise, Son of Rome, decent game, not amazing. Maybe is $6.79 worth. The first Dark Souls, $5. If you're into Dark Souls, might as well get it. It's $5. Payday 2. You're gonna get a lot of gameplay time out of this. Payday 2's basically you're playing these bank robbers, and you have to go into you have to plan out your heist, right? Which is kind of cool. You can live out your Heat dreams, and be Robert De Niro and all that stuff, and rob a bank, and it's really fun. Very solid game. You'll get a lot of play time out of that for $5. I would say definitely pick that up. Age of Empires 3 is always classic. Great sales, $7.99. Pick that up. Soma came out this year, 25% off. I'd say pass. It's not good enough to get for 25% off. Plague Inc. It has the multiplayer update, looks like, and $10. I mean, if you're like, it's actually a very fun game. Here's the thing with Plague Inc. You will play it and you'll love it for the first 5 hours. And after the 5 hours, you're going to be like, this is a little old now. I don't want to play it. So if those 5 hours, you want to spend $10, you know, basically $2 an hour, you know, if you, that's up to you, that you can buy that. You'll get a solid 5 hours of gameplay out of it before you get bored. You may not get bored. For me, that was 5 hours of my cutoff time. So there's that. Transistor, very solid game, indie game. This War of Mine is fantastic. So what this War of Mine is it's a 2D side scroller, but you're playing in a war-torn city, and you have to survive with these survivors, and then you have to rummage food, supplies, medicine, all that stuff, and it's actually gets really depressing because when you have someone killed or someone die, they die permanently. So it's kind of like a Fire Emblem style element added into it. So it's a very solid game. I would say get it. $6.79. I paid more than that, but that was like a year ago, or not a year ago, maybe 6 months ago or so. So I'd say pick it up. Very solid game. You'll get a lot of gameplay time out of that. Same with BioShock. That's actually a very good deal for BioShock. There's going to be a 3-pack for that, meaning BioShock 1, 2, and 3, or BioShock 1, 2, and then Infinite. And you'll get a package deal for it, and that's pretty good deal for all 3 of them. It's not going to be $7.99. It's going to be about 12 or 13 or something like that. But for 3 games, that's a fantastic deal. Let's see. Dirt Rally Pass, Alien Isolation. This came out last year. It was a mixed reviews for that. Depends on there's people like Ian loves Alien and the Alien universe, and he said it's a very solid game. It's a solid game, but here's the thing: you don't have, when you're playing the game, you don't have the ability to fight back. Well, you have the ability to fight back. You don't deal any damage to the alien. All you're doing is like blinding him for like a couple minutes, and you're gonna go hide somewhere. So it's for me, the helplessness of the game is not a huge, it's not one of my favorite things ever. So, but for $12.49 for a game like that came out last year, I would say maybe. I would say maybe on that. Depends on if you like the Alien universe or sci-fi in general, or like the Outlast kind of playstyle when you're hiding. It's good. The AI for the alien is fantastic. He is so smart. So if you're want to get good scare out of the game, this is the game to pick up. Saints Row, not bad, solid game. Attila, this is gonna be a nice deal. This Attila just actually came out recently, this year, it looks like, 2015. So for 66%, maybe on that. Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning. This is actually a very solid game. It has gotten a bad rap because of what it cost to make that game, and the state of New Jersey, the studio that made it, took a loan out from the state of New Jersey to produce the game, and it was underwhelming. Did not get great reviews. Well, it got good critical reviews, but it did not get an overall good review from the consumers. So it wasn't successful in the standing. So they the whole state of New Jersey was kind of screwed from that. Don't Starve is a fantastic game, very fun. I love the art style. It's a Tim Burton-esque art style, and you're just open world survivor. It's a 2D open world survivor. Very solid game. Alan Wake is a very good game too. It's very trippy. Maybe on that. Actually buy for Don't Starve. And we're gonna get near the end here. We're seeing some repeats. Rome Total War 2. Wow, that's fantastic. $14.98. That's not bad. I'm assuming you get Emperor Edition gets you all the DLC. That's a pretty good deal. Lords of the Fallen. So here's the thing. Lords of the Fallen is a Dark Soul-esque game, similar to the styles. If you run around defeating creatures, it's not as good in the game, in regards to the gameplay and the story. Although they try to implement it, the story was boring. So yeah, for $10, I'd say pass. Shovel Knight is actually a very good indie game. It's gotten a lot of reviews. If you want to jump on the hipster train and you want to play a really popular 2D game, and that's Shovel Knight. Prison Architect, I have seen that lower pass. Escapist pass. And yeah, we're getting near the end here, so we're gonna go ahead and do like 1 or 2 more games here and see what we got. I'll just go ahead and go do really quickly here. Dead Space 2, pretty much a buy. A very solid game. Bulletstorm pass. Mountain Blade is actually 85. That's actually a really good game. So buy that. Buy that. That's a good game. Modern Warfare 2, if you're into Call of Duty, that has $9.99. I think the servers are still up for that too. Battle Block Theater is very solid, like Castle Crashers style game. It's made from the same studio, and it's hectic. It's a lot of fun though. Ooh, Banish is awesome. You guys need to pick that up. $5, $4.99. It's a city building, colonial age or colonial time city building. So it's a hardcore sim too. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna build cities and this is gonna progress. No, it's you have to make sure your settlers live and prosperous, and there's a lot of elements into it. It's a very hard game, but it's a very fun game too. Grim Fandango for $2.99, definitely must have. What else? Hotline Miami 2, pass. That's not. It's gonna be lower than that in a couple months. And ooh, Mass Effect. Oh, you have to pick up Mass Effect. Well, this may be just speaking from bias, but Mass Effect's one of my favorite series of all time. It's for $5. You get the first one, and $5 for the second one. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna get tons of gameplay time out of that. So definitely consider that as well. And yeah, for now, oh, Her Story. Ooh, pick this up. This is a great game. You're playing a detective. You're reviewing all these videos, and it's very good. So it's hard to explain, but it's a good game. Pick that up. Grand Theft Auto 4, episode from Liberty City. That's a pretty solid game as well. Ooh, Last of Us, or not Last of Us. Last Light Redux Metro series is pretty solid as well. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and end the video now. But keep in mind, I will be bringing more and more, as more winter sales come out. So keep an eye out for it. And other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. I would appreciate it. And yeah, peace. This is the Budget Gamer signing out.